Hi folks, welcome to another episode of You Know What Grinds My Gears, being 48 years old and for like 3 weeks having a blemish on your nose that keeps moving around and not going away. But besides that is those guys that tell you, those 9mm fanboys that tell you 9mm is just as good as 40, 45, etc. Just as good. Just as good. The just as good crowd is almost as bad as the 5-shot J-Frames just enough crowd. So, I do have a very popular video. Capacity, does it matter for civilian defensive gun use? Got 380 up to 45 with expanded hollow points from my ballistics testing you can find in my Paul Harrell tribute playlist. So please always like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Go check out that Paul Harrell tribute playlist. And look at the differences in diameter. People do not understand handgun ballistics. If by just as good, what they mean is good enough, I really wish they would say 9mm is probably going to be good enough. Why? Because you don't train enough and you're more likely to get more hits and better quality hits. It's about quality hits under time. So quality hits with 9mm because of less recoil than a 40, 45, 10mm, etc., whatever. Good enough. Why can't they just say good enough? Grinds my gears when they say just as good, and then like my half-brother James Reid saying in a video, well, you can quote the FBI. Handgun bullets stop by hitting critical structures. And you know what's more likely to hit a critical structure is the bigger bullet. The bigger diameter bullet touches more tissue, will crush more tissue, will have a higher total wound volume than a smaller diameter bullet. Okay? The bigger the bullet, the bigger the hole. And it seems like we're standing bipedally upright most of the time, that our body goes boom because of gravity and it seals up because of suction. And like that hole doesn't stay very big if it starts as a little itty bitty tiny hole. And especially like I'm talking 32 and under. 22 is just good enough. A kill is just good. It's about stopping someone, not killing them 20 minutes later. And ER people have seen it. People talking to them. They've been shot. and the guy's acting like no big deal. And then, yeah, dude, you're dying. You're just dying kind of slow. And you're dying as soon as we get to the emergency room. Same thing with, stabs, ice picks, that kind of thing. So the bigger the bullet, the larger the diameter, the bigger the hole. That's pretty simpleton, right? The more likely it is, given similar hits, if you're highly trained, given similar quality hits, which is hard to do, yes, but it's pretty similar, and I've done a full 25 pistol study, different calibers, different action types, red dot versus iron sights, you guys will be seeing in 2026. But they're not just the same, because it's radius squared. It's volume of a cylinder. Some of you really didn't pay attention in math class, you low IQ peons. It's volume of a cylinder. So it's distance or depth, height, whatever you want to say it, depth times radius squared. Because it's squared, not at just the eyeball. The ER doctor can't tell. I mean, the difference between a pinky, 9mm, a middle finger, 40, and a 45 thumb. At one spot. It's about how much bigger it is, not to the eyeball at one spot through the fat body. I mean, they're all kind of small in relation, right? But it's about the entire wound path. So it's like, if I was Superman or Cyclops, and I shot itty bitty laser, or I opened my eyes bigger and I shot a bigger laser, boom, through the body. The bigger the hole, the faster the blood loss. The faster the blood loss, the faster the drop in BP. The faster the drop in BP, the less good they are at killing you in the, typical defensive gun use civilian, 4 to 8 seconds probably. Law enforcement, though there was one very long one on ASP recently, like 2 minutes long. Kind of crazy. Off-duty PD protecting someone, something like that. But police shootouts can go on for a longer rate of time and a lot more rounds on both sides and misses because they don't care and all that. But the faster the blood loss, the less good they are at trying to kill you. So they are not just the same because it's radius squared. So even like 5.5 versus 5.0 on a good 9mm or a really good 9mm, like a 63 to 68 HST versus like crappy cheap 9mm 0.50, it's actually a very big difference because it's squared, radius squared. Okay? Look up volume of a cylinder, plug in some numbers, and stop being idiots. So it's not even nearly the same. If you look at my video on capacity, it doesn't matter for defensive gun use. It doesn't mean a 9mm isn't probably going to be good enough. It doesn't mean it's not more shootable, even if you are highly skilled. Recoil is a thing. Recoil does matter. Now, can you overcome that? Close, but not far. And I do that in my study. I did a couple 45s. I did 3 40s. Are they as good percentage-wise in a 25-round test to 9mm? No, there's a little bit of loss there. And I'm pretty well-trained, pretty highly skilled. Let's talk about clothing. I think I got 6 layers on, plus the vest. Let's ignore the vest. So I got 1, 2, 3 I put on. It started getting real cold earlier than it was supposed to. Threw on the vest, threw on the sweatshirt, threw on the jacket. That's 6 layers. If there happens to be a pocket, that adds another layer. Now, if we went through an arm first, like Miami-Dade style, you went through a 4-inch bicep. Mine's probably bigger than that, actually. Like 18.5-inch bicep. Yeah, mine's probably bigger than that, to be honest. Not that I'm flexing on you little skinny boys that have never done a push-up in your life. But, pretty much. If it's up here, that's going to be my 6 layers. 6 layers. 4 inches, approximately, of organic gel or actual tissue. 6 layers here, 6 layers there. Wait a minute. Oh my God, mind blown. That's 18 layers. And this is for sitting in my car with all my other sweatshirts and stuff draped over me to keep warm. Okay? If it had been really cold later tonight and I was outside, I would actually have quite a lot more layers. And I'm in the south, so if you're in the northwest, does that matter? Okay, so 6 to 18 layers, which is more like up there, it's probably like 11 layers to 33 layers. You get it? I like 40 in the winter. I might carry 40 when it's really cold out this winter because 40 is more likely to expand. It's a very energetic, very efficient cartridge, even in subcompacts. So as low as a G27 3.42-inch barrel, but mine are like 3.6-inch barrels, an HST is still going to expand. But even if it didn't, a 40, a 45 doesn't shrink. So if you live in the Northwest, especially in the winter time, when people do wear a shit ton of clothes, bigger might matter a lot. And I actually think 40 is probably more likely to expand through 6+ layers of clothing, heavy clothing, than 45. And I certainly like 13 beans better than 9 beans. So I actually don't really carry 45, though it is my home defense pistol. 11 rounds of 45 HSTs, but 40 wintertime, 12 plus 1, 13 plus 1. This one will probably be 13 plus 1 of 180 grain HSTs when it's really, really cold. Will 9mm expand? Cheap hollow points through 6 layers? HST through 6 layers? Yes. Gold dot plus P, 124 plus P through 6 layers? Yes. Will it expand through 18 layers? No. It's not going to expand through 18 layers. I guess none of them will, but I bet you 40 HSTs still expand through 8 layers of clothing. And it doesn't shrink. 40 and 45 doesn't shrink. Okay? 44 special guys. You got a full wad cutter, doesn't shrink. Now, is that nearly as good as a hollow point? No, it's like 2.3 cubic inches of total wound volume. Why? Because I actually can do math, so I know that. 2.3 cubic inches of total wound volume for your 0.43 diameter full wad cutter. Okay, my 38 plus P Hydroshock Deep does 2.6. 9mm do 3.8 to 4.0. Okay, that's at 100% value. Times 0.82, so minus 18% off of that. But 40 and 45 do a heck of a lot more. But even if they didn't, they don't shrink. So in the wintertime, if you live Northwest, for all these guys, it's just as good. It's not just as good. It just might be good enough. You know what else might be good enough? A long-barreled 380 with like 4 of the best hollow points that I recommend in summertime. You guys that live in Florida, wearing your flip-flops. You guys carrying J-frames and justifying it because I'm wearing a bathing suit. You should probably have a SIG P230 instead, but whatever. At least I would give you 8 rounds. Soon, I'm hoping to modify. I'm too lazy to try and get 8+1, so they're 9 rounds instead of 5, and that is a big difference in the time frame of a possibly 6 to 8 second gunfight instead of being dry 4 seconds. That really does make a difference. Between 5 rounds and like 9 rounds can make a very significant life or death difference in a defensive gun use. But it grinds my gears. All those guys that say it's just as good. It's not just as good. You can do the math. A bigger bullet will always do more damage and cause faster blood loss, and it's more likely to hit a vital structure. Can most people shoot a 40-45 good enough? Now 45, I can shoot a 45 really good. In fact, like it's I got 2 lightweight commanders. One's 30 ounces, one 28 ounces. 28 ounces, my hits are not as quality in some videos that are coming up. It's just not. Versus 30 ounce, only a 2 ounce difference. Both lightweight commander 1911s. It makes a difference. I mean, physics is a thing, and everyone has a certain amount of recoil control. But if you trained up good, like, is it unmanageable? 40 got a bad rap because it was made in Glock 22s, 23s that were barrel swap, because Austin Glock swipes some rounds from Smith & Wesson. Okay. You bastard, Gaston! Anyway, as I was saying, 40 isn't that bad if it's like an HK, a MMP 2.0. Any HK or 2.0s or certain other pistols can handle 40 recoil pretty well. Are your quality of hits on a timer as good? It becomes really debatable because you really need the heart here. And so if it's a little off, I don't know. But now you get talking multiple attackers, and I go 2, 2, and 2 at the 3 attackers and then come back to divvy up some more servings as needed. Then you go look at my caliber debate video and timing them. So once you start making transitions, instead of just talking about build drills statically, once you start talking about movement and transitions and stuff, it doesn't look as good for the 9mm fanboys as well. I'm not saying 9mm is not good enough. It's probably good enough, but no, it's just as good is not just as good. Stop saying that. Because there's a big fucking difference between a .83 expansion 45 HST and their shitty 9mm at 50 to 53 expansion through actual clothing, proper, real world stuff. Real world stuff. The average expanded diameter through 49 shit bags with 147 Winchester white box is .53 with 13 inches of penetration. I never got attacked by a jelly, man. It's the fucking same averages in real bodies. Oh my God, it's almost like they autopsy after OIS and murder suspects. It's almost like they measure penetration depth and expanded diameter.